All right, traders, it is time to prepare to trade the best setups at the best prices. Before we get into today's lesson, I do want to give a big shout out to all of the bears and all of the people who ended up swing trading puts and who have been holding for maybe, since yesterday or maybe for a couple days since our 420 key level. As you know, in terms of swing trading and holding hopes, that 420 level was the best level that we were targeting. And today is the day where those options finally decided to bank big. So big shout out to those of you who ended up holding that. With that being said, we are going to prepare to trade the best setups at the best prices. I'm going to be recapping my trades and price action analysis. I ended up making a little bit over a $7,000 profit just by buying call options today. I did not get trapped into any of the bull traps, even though today was an overall bearish day. I did very, very well buying some dips, and I'm going to explain to you on how I was able to do that. With that being said, towards the end of this video, I'm going to prepare you to trade the best setups at the best prices, giving you tomorrow's new trading plan. So make sure you stay to the end. So my main trade for the day was a $3,000 profit in 2 single minutes. If you guys watched yesterday's video, I also prepared members within Trader Society. If you go to the key levels, our plan in terms of calls, so we wanted puts at 418.81 and 420.40. In terms of calls, we wanted to try calls at 417.35 because 417.35 is a strong bottom wick support. As you can see, there was a nice bull trap created into the market open where SPY sold off very, very hard yesterday, just like it did in terms of today in the pre-market and towards market open, but it recovered and it bounced very, very nicely off of this bear trap support level right here at 417.35, right? If you look at this 30-minute candle, it bottomed at 417.35 and it shot up all the way to 419.38 within like 10, 15, 20 minutes, right? So that's a great level for huge upside potential and very little risk on calls with a tight stop loss. So when I saw the SPY open up, it literally, if you just look at the chart, when I saw this open up and it was dipping under 417, I thought to myself, people are going to think this is bearish because it cracked that 417.30 level. But one thing that most people don't understand is when SPY cracks a key support level and it's testing for like that first initial time. So you could see that 417.35 level right here was never tested, right? And you could see right here, it formed the first time here and then it was tested, massive trap, but then it formed again and it was never retested after that time. So most likable outcome is they're going to try to bounce it off that level first. Doesn't mean it's going to go super bullish, but it means it could be a great in and out scalping opportunity, right? So another thing that people don't understand is when it hits that initial key support level where the bear trap creates, if it goes a little bit under the 417 call strike, the most likable outcome is they're going to bring those 417 calls right back in the money. So if you buy those calls out of the money when the stock price, when SPY drops under 417, you buy them out of the money, you sell into that in-money quick spike. That's where all the money is made, and that's where the most likable outcome is. Look at it, man. It did the same thing as yesterday. It was dropping down in the pre-market. It was dropping down in the pre-market, chopping down, and it had a massive morning spike, So I'm putting 2 and 2 together, and I'm saying yesterday it had a nice morning spike, and I'm also looking at the level, and the price is right. It's under 417. They're going to try to bring those 417 calls from out of the money to in the money when it hit 416.90. So I looked at the chart, and I said, yeah, I'm going to do calls. This makes perfect sense. It had a nice morning spike yesterday. 417 calls just went out of the money. 417.35 was a major bear trap level, and it's like the first time it's being retested from this key level. And you could just study, man, what happens when it tests this 417.30 level. Right here, this is where it started, and then it tested, massive upside. Then it tested, very nice upside. So within the chat, man, at 9:31 a.m., literally at the exact low right here, when SPY was trading at 416.90, when this candle was red, I alerted call options and I bought those call options and I made a $3,000 profit in 2 single minutes. I bought my calls when it was at 416.95 out of the money, and I sold them in the money. As soon as this hit 417.40, I sold, I took my profits. Reason why I sold there, that's what I'm supposed to do. If I'm buying options out of the money and I get a quick 50-cent spike in the money just like that within 2 minutes, I'm selling because it can crash just as fast as it went up. And as you can see, this is another reason why I sold. It could go higher, but it's likely going to drop first. So if I held through that drop, I would have gave back all my profit. Instead, I could have just used the profit I made and get back in the position if I wanted to do that, which is something I really don't look to do too often. But another reason why I sold is previous support is right around here at this 417.40. It cracked, so if it spikes back up, that previous support is going to try to react as a resistance. But another reason why I like calls at that level was, we had the morning spike right yesterday. We had the nice bear trap at 417.35. 417 calls went out of the money, so people are going to think, oh, it's bearish now, I'll crack the key level. But remember, when they bring it out of the money on that major bear trap support level, they're going to try to shoot them back in the money. And also there was a gap. There was a gap to fill above at 418.79. This is the reason why I didn't want to do puts. My two levels for puts was 418.79. If SPY gaps down, I'm going to target puts there. And I'm also going to look at 420.10. Those are my two levels. My levels for puts never hit. So from there, I made $3,000 within 2 single minutes. Like if you would have bought where I bought, short-term expirations, they went up at least 20%. The safer ones, they went up a good 8%. But yeah, from there, I had 2 more trades. They were just very quick, in and out, nothing too special, nothing too crazy. I bought the dip when it was at 416.30. I sold at 416.50, made a quick profit. And then I bought the dip when it was at like 415s. And then I sold, it spiked like 40, 50 cents. I got out, made a quick profit. And that was my overall day for a 7K profit. Not too much to really recap there. But overall, led good direction, pretty good analysis. But like I said, even though it was a super bearish day, I didn't focus on puts. And the main reason behind that is because we didn't fill the gap. If I'm doing puts, I want to get in right here towards the pre-market highs when it's hitting this previous closing price, hitting this gap. That's where it crashed massively, right? This previous support cracked, so it's going to try to react as a resistance, but it never retested during market hours. So those are the reasons why I actually swayed away from puts, because I don't want to buy puts into a gap down. But if you were to just look at the daily chart, man, it was just a matter of time. We were literally down 3% from 52-week highs at our 420 gap level that we've been talking about. This is the best level to be swing trading from, this 420 level, most competent level. We have people swing trading and still holding, a lot of them locked in gains today, right? I mean, it was a level where it made sense to hold from. Plus, you had a doji formed yesterday. This is not the most bullish candlestick. You got this doji, and then you got this super bearish candlestick right here. This is the one that I went with swing trading. So, I mean, overall, just very bearish daily chart recognition, right? So it finally got to the point where shit hit the fan and SPY finally crashed. But with that being said, what is our game plan heading into tomorrow? What are our new key levels? Where are we looking to trade at? What's the game plan? So this is very simple, folks. In terms of puts, our best level for put options is going to be the previous support that has not been retested. A major bull trap was just created where the bulls got trapped today. That 420, resistance finally kicked in and SPY got destroyed. So where was the previous support? The previous support was right around here. Look at the close. It closed at 418.79, right where this white line is, and then you can also say towards the bottom of these wicks right well, but we're going to go with the previous closing price. So the zone for puts is going to be the low of this candle, $418.41, and then the previous closing price. This is the gap closers reversal strategy, the best strategy. This is the strategy on the daily chart that we use to buy puts at 420 multiple times to bank on towards the exact top, right? I mean, how many bull trap videos did I make at that 420 level? That was the best level possible. That's why I was pushing it. So our new best level, you're just gonna have to wait. 418.79, right? So 418.79 to, like, you could say 418.40. That's the zone where we're going to look to do puts, so you can set your price alerts there. Now, in terms of calls, what do we need to understand about calls? So first of all, let's take a look at the daily candle and see if we can get some sort of thesis on where we can potentially be heading for the short term for the micro, right? So, I mean, in terms of this daily candlestick, you can just see right here, this daily candle right here, if you compare to this daily candle right here, just look at this, man. Very similar. You have a doji, you have a doji. You have this bearish daily candle, you have this bearish daily candle. What happened the next day? It had a massive gap down, kept selling off, and then you had a short-term recovery. Not too much of a crazy recovery in terms of the next day, but the day after that, it went nuts. So based off of how this daily candle looks, it looks like we're going lower. This does look bearish. That's a very bearish daily candlestick, right? It does look like we're going to be going lower. You see the same candle form right here. We went lower, and then it had a massive spike. It does look like we are going to go lower, plus we're at major resistance. So these are going to be the two levels for calls that I want you to focus on. Now, in this situation, it's best to focus on the lower level. This is the level where you can just not go wrong with. You cannot go wrong with trying puts at 418.79. You're going to have to wait, and then trying calls at this level. This is going to be a very key level. So I want you to write this down because this is going to be your best level to be buying call options at. So in terms of our call options, we're going to be targeting the lower high end of this support zone, right? You could see right here, the SPY had a massive bear trap. The bears got trapped right here at 410.25. There's a gap to fill at 410.25 as well. The gap never filled, and it ran all the way to 421. So if SPY right now, it's in the middle of the channel, the lower middle, right? So the top of the channel is at 420.72, but we're going to say the new top of the channel is at 418.79 because that's where the gap is waiting to fill. If we get stopped out on puts at this level, we're going to retarget puts and make our money back at 420.10 and more. 420.10 is that previous support that has never been tested. So remember, key level for puts, 418.79, gap close reversal. If stopped out, then we're going to hit puts at our best level, 420.10, that we discussed in our last video. That's the previous support that's going to react as a resistance, right? We identified that previous support level that never just tested. Now, in terms of our call options, the bottom is at 410.25. 410.25 is your best level for call options. And again, if you see bullish daily candles right before the market closes, if you see a bullish daily candlestick at our support levels where we're interested in buying, you could swing calls. If you see bearish daily candlesticks at our levels where we're interested in shorting, buying puts on, you can swing puts. But those daily candlesticks do not form until right before the market's closed. So make sure you determine that right before the market closes at like 3:55 p.m. You should be looking at the daily chart and you should be saying, okay, is it at the level? Yes, it's at the level. Is it forming a bullish or bearish daily candlestick? And then you make your decision. Okay, I like how the candle looks. I'm going to enter the swing trade. I don't like how the candle looks. I'm going to stay out of swing trade. No confirmations. Now, in terms of calls, 410.25, bottom of the channel, gap close reversal, major bear trap was created here. Now, this is another level that we will be looking into for a small bounce into call options. So the level that I'm going to be looking at in terms of where another massive bear trap was created, you can say, I would say right around this 412. We're likely going to bounce at this 412 range, this 412, 412.30, you can say. So like right here, this resistance level, 412.30, a massive bear trap was created when we broke above that resistance, and it's never really been kind of retested. So right around this 412 level, I'm going to be interested in doing a scalp on calls. That's not the best setup at the best price. The best setups at the best prices, like I said, 410.25 puts, 418.79 puts, 420.25 puts. You wait for these levels, you'll be banking, you'll make more than enough to join the cost of the Trader Society most likely. So with that being said, those are the best ones. Our other levels are great levels, but you have to be more professional, more experienced to even consider trading them, right? But I will be eyeing calls in the 412, low 412 range, because that is previous resistance right here. This is previous resistance that had a massive breakout. Once we broke above 412 right here, massive breakout. So if it's going to drop back to 412, the initial reaction is likely going to be a bounce. And again, I'm not saying that these are going to be very bullish or bearish recoveries, but what I am saying is it's going to be a nice scalping opportunity where you can get in and out and make a nice quick return on your day trade and then just call it for the day. Like I literally called it. I called my day and then I took hours off and then I made more money after. I called my day within the first 2 minutes. I prepared that trade idea in advance. I told people I'm looking to buy calls at 417.35. It dropped under 4. It opened up at like 416.90. I bought calls. 2 minutes later, it's at 417.50. Sold my calls, done for the day, $3,000 profit. There's no other job in the world where you can print money that fast. That's the beauty of trading. You can do it from anywhere. You can do it from anywhere in the world as long as you have connection. And you don't have to associate. You don't have to like go in person on a job. It's not like a real job. It's very lucrative, but you have to be disciplined and stick with what works, right? There's many pros, but there can be many cons if you are incompetent in that situation. So with that being said, those are the best setups at the best prices. That's what I'm interested in doing. That's what I'm interested in trading. Now, our last key level, so I want you to think of this as the middle. We're going to have a new gap at 414.09. So 414.09 is going to be a new gap. If it reacts bearish, we're going to do puts. If it reacts bullish, we might do calls. But in terms of calls and based on how things are looking, I'm really just interested in 412.30 and 410.30. If SPY gaps down, I'll be targeting puts at 414.09. That's the only level. If SPY gaps up, then I'm likely just going to sit on the sidelines. So if SPY does gap up, I don't think it's going to happen, but if it does, 2 trade ideas. If we gap up, 3 trade ideas. If we gap up, you can try calls at 414.09. Just use a tight stop and understand it's not the best level. Also, if we do gap up, you can try puts at 417, previous support that really hasn't been retested. Tight stop, not the best level. The best ones are going to be that 418.79 puts and 420.10. So just to quickly recap, right, our trade ideas heading into tomorrow. And again, we have new ideas that update once the market opens, once we get more trend analysis and more price action levels, more 30-minute candles, all that good stuff. But 410.25, best level for calls, and we're interested in swing trading calls from that level with bullish confirmation. 412.30 is a decent level for calls. That is a previous resistance level that has not really been tested, and a major bear trap was created once we broke above that. So SPY is going to have a massive breakout and then retest that previous resistance. Most likely outcome is we see a small bounce first before going down further. 414.09, if we gap up, you could try calls. I would only encourage calls if we did gap up. If it was a massive gap up. If it was a small gap up, I wouldn't encourage it too much. Just be a little bit careful at 414.09, especially on the call side. But if we do gap up, might do calls at 414.09. But like I said, the competent levels are really that 412.30 and that 410.25. This is not the best level. This is the middle. Very tougher to trade. If we gap down, you could try puts at 414.09. Also, if we do gap up, you can attempt puts at 417 if stopped out. 418.79 and 420.10 is our best levels. 418.79 is a level where we'd be interested in swing trading puts. 420.10 is a level where we'd be interested in swing trading puts with bearish confirmations on daily. So our swing trade levels, and you can also day trade our swing trade levels as well. 420.10 and 418.79 for puts, and then for calls, 410.25. Our day trade levels, best ones would be the swing levels combined with the day trade. Besides that, we're looking at 412.30 quick scalp on calls. 414.09 if we gap up, look for calls. If we gap down, look for puts. And then 417 quick trade on puts if we gap up tomorrow, and then 418.79 puts, and then 420.10 puts. That is it, man. I'm giving you guys the best levels possible. We did fairly well within the chat tomorrow. If you do want to be a part of Traders Society, it's going to be that first link down below in the description. Within Traders Society, it's a one-time fee, one-time admission fee, no recurring fee, and you get lifetime access. You get lifetime access to the professors, to the moderators within Traders Society. You get lifetime access to the video lesson library, which is where you're going to learn risk management, position sizing, psychology, trade management, and of course, the unique trading strategies. We're going to open your third eye and show you how I view the market so you can identify and create your own key levels. You know, the point of this program is to make you self-sufficient, is to get you on the level that I'm at and that other moderators in the chat are, so you are fully competent and you don't need to rely on other people. You know exactly what it is that you're doing. You know exactly what to look for and what to see, and then you're going to trade what you see and not what you think, and not blindly follow other people's, right? So that's what we're going to be able to do for you. If you want to get trained, if you're looking for the right mentorship, the right coach, this is going to be the right program for you. We're going to teach you how to master and trade the SPY. It's the best one to be trading. We find it to be extremely predictable. It has the most liquidity. This is what all the wealthy people are trading. And we're also going to give you our real-time trade alerts, my real-time commentary, my real-time analysis, my real-time watch list. That's not for you to blindly follow. That's to help, to help you see what I'm seeing in real time. And then you start playing off of that, and then you start learning, and then you start figuring things out on your own, along with the video lesson library and all the mentorship within the program. You also get access to the live trading streams and the live trading voice channels. If you want to check it out, and if you want all the information and you want to join and get instant lifetime access right now, it is the first link down below in the description. I will see you guys tomorrow live at market open.